And man, look at that. Man, I love Verotic, and I love 90s comics. The idea of taking a single painting done by Frank Frazetta and making an entire story and a comic book about it is just mind-blowing to me. But what's even more insane is you got Frank Turan doing it. Frank Turan is one of those artists that worked on Punisher, and I think he worked on Kazar, or whatever that Marvel character is that's like the crappy Conan. Frank Turan doesn't do much artwork for comics, at least to my knowledge. He's only done like a few books, and I know him from the Punisher stuff, and I think I did a video on his Punisher comic that he did, but maybe I didn't. Maybe that'll be a video in the future if I haven't done it, because I'm a huge Punisher fan. But that doesn't matter. What matters is we're going to take a look at Glenn Danzig telling a story about a character that Frazetta just did a painting of. It's a pretty high task. And we look through the Death Dealer stuff. He did a Death Dealer book with Bisley and Liam Sharp, I believe. The thing that makes me sad about this is there is a second issue, but it's not Frank Turan on it. It's Mitch Bird. And I've heard that name before, but I'm not familiar with what he's done. I believe I've heard that name before. But let's take a look at it. Let's flip through it, because I love Verotic. I love cheesy 90s comics. I love Frank Turan. I love everything about this. So it's got to be good, right? Let's hope so. I think I flipped through it very, very quickly. So here we go. And the first thing I will say is, man, do I hate that color. I am not a fan of the color. Whoever did the color on this, I'm not a huge fan of. Frank Turan is a very interesting artist because his stuff is very weird. The proportions are weird. Everything is just bizarre. But that's what I kind of like about him. I mean, that face there kind of looks like a Rob Liefeld face. A bit flat. Kind of looks like it's a bit rushed, but it reads. And as long as it reads, that's all that really matters, right? And obviously Frank Frazetta did the cover, the painting, because that is a painting that he had done in the past. So we start with a woman with large breasts. What better way to start in a comic book, huh? And she's getting attacked. Obviously, because I guess in that time it was kind of cool to tell a story like that. And then the dude comes in and saves her. That's what I'm assuming. And we could see him on the bottom there. I do like this effect here that's going on. I'm assuming that was probably done digitally. I'm not sure on the year of this. This is 95, so this must have been early digital if it was done that way. But man, Frank Turan is such an awesome artist. So unique, so different than what you normally see. At least for me. And yeah, great art here. That's the thing, is like this, I'm trying to put myself back into like 95. I feel like the comic book industry was dying at that point. Now, I was 4 at the time, so I don't have the knowledge or understanding of what was going on at the time. But I feel like this was, I don't know how well this sold or how well it did, but was Frank Frazetta really known very well? Like, did a lot of people know who he was in the 90s? Because like I've said in the past, I didn't find out about Frank Frazetta until I started drawing. That's how I found out about Frank Frazetta. So, I don't know. But interesting choice of backgrounds here. That's got to be like a digital thing going on there. And man, look at that. Holy fuck, dude. Look at those striations, and like, I don't know if that dude's got like cuts all over him, those are veins, or if it's like pus or like, I don't know. But man, that is a amazing drawing. Those are all amazing drawings. Just a beautiful, like, there's not much going on there composition wise, but Very rad choice. Wow. The composition is quite bad, I will say. And that could be just Glenn Danzig's ability to tell a story. I mean, there's just some stuff that's like that panel with the lightning striking, and I don't know, very weird choices here, but whatever. And then of course we have our big-breasted woman taking a dip in the water for a bathe, and then a big, large Dark Souls looking motherfucker comes out of nowhere. Man, I do not like his faces here. They look very flat. Here's my thing, like, my big problem with like and I think they're trying to just capture the 90s image thing, because that was like the big thing at the time. Well, they were trying to recapture that. People were kind of bored of it at that time. And it's like when you make somebody who doesn't really draw like that, it looks very odd. And I was never a big fan of the image style, because I always felt like there was like a flatness to it. And I feel like Frank Turan is trying to... I can imagine Glenn Danzig being like, oh, I wanted something similar to the image style. His Punisher stuff is really good. And obviously, I mean, he can draw. I mean, look at that. Man. But the storytelling looks terrible. Oh my goodness. I'm actually excited to see what issue 2 looks like. It feels like somebody just like a totally different person came in and drew that last panel. And then we have some stuff at the end. Man, they loved naked women at Verotic, which, hey man, whatever. I mean, don't we all, right? All right, and here's issue 2, and awesome cover again. And different artist here, which is very interesting. So we already see like this different style that does not fit the previous book. So if you're coming and you're picking it up, because, you know, when you were a kid, did you really care about who the artist was? I don't know. As an adult, I do, but... Man. Very different style, for sure. Kind of jarring how different it is. Yeah. Not a fan. Not a fan of this second book. Again, the color is weird. I do not like the color. I feel like Verotic was always trying to, like... I don't know if like the artists were getting paid well. I mean, the art's not bad. It's just not the style that I would want for my book. And of course, Jaguar got... I mean, this is literally... I mean... God. At least we show the dingus. You know, fair is fair. What a weird decision. What a bizarre choice. To be like, we're gonna tell a story. I will say the composition's a lot better, and the storytelling feels a little bit more... like, feels a little bit better, I guess. Like, things actually kind of make sense. But, sort of. And there you go. And I don't think there's an issue 3, and frankly, there should not be an issue 3. But, keeping that Frazetta legacy alive, I guess Danzig was doing at the time. I know Verotic has come back. I don't think that they're going to be doing any Frazetta books anymore in the future, because I probably guarantee that these probably did not sell very well. But I believe there's only 2 issues, and which one do I like better? I don't know. Ugh. I feel like this is like... I feel like the person, like anybody who bought this, went out and bought this, got totally fucking like honey-dicked, or whatever that term is. Where like, you think it's gonna be really good, and then you, I mean, open it up and you're just like, this And it's Frank Turan. Mitch Bird sounds really familiar. I'm not sure. I'll have to look that name up, but I enjoy it. I don't think the art is bad in either of these. I think the storytelling is quite bad from what I could see. Nothing interesting compositionally going on in this. It just kind of seems like a lot of like very boring like panel choices. But yeah, that is Jaguar God by Glenn Danzig, Frank Turan, and Mitch Bird, and a bunch of other people who don't know how to color.